Welcome, welcome. You are listening to Grow Your Mind and Money, hosted by the Old Grumpy Prosperity Team and the Prosperous Divas. I am Diva Narcisse, aka Diva Nikki, and tonight our team includes Empress Faith Nakia, Warrior Princess Janice, Baroness Robin, and Countess Jacqueline. The guiding principle of the Old Grumpy Radio Network is a world of peace and prosperity. The guiding principle of the Prosperous Divas is prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. We have a power-packed show for you this evening. Take your seat and strap those seatbelts on because you're about to go on a rocket ride of transformation, insight, and fun. Shani, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry, sent us a mystery track, Sound and Roll It.
Prophecy, a prediction of things to come. My prophecy. My prophecy was written long before I started spitting, so don't get it twisted. From the first time I picked up a pen, it all began. See, I was born with a knowledge, so all of my problems will be solved. Watch me evolve into more than what you thought I'd be. I'm a queen in the making. You should have recognized when I opened my eyes what was coming to be. Sunshine at sunrise, organized and hellified. Watch me rise. See, my dream had before, so I suggest you take note. This is something you don't want to miss. So excuse me, miss, I am on this list and I'm reaching new heights. Like a bird in flight, coming to get mine like a thief in the night. You don't want to test me, I'm fire on this mic. Recognize it's my time, you don't want to share, so fuck it. I'll take it, now it's all mine. All the things you thought you could do, you can't. But watch me draw a blank. And still leave it with that goddamn look on their face. Yeah, the strong do fall down sometimes, but I'm dangerous. When my word, pen, and paper collide, that's right, I'm a dangerous mind. Destructive when you cross that line. And you've been warned, so don't step in my path. I'm on a mission to succeed. You can test me the wrong way, my words will make your ears bleed. You'll be crying for relief. You didn't know who I be? I'm a messenger in disguise. I'm an angel with angry eyes. When you get on my wrong side, so you better step back and apologize. Feel the fire blazing on this mic. I know you're gonna feel my heat tonight. Watch me bring what you couldn't. Oops, did I say something I shouldn't? People talk about poets and poetry like it ain't shit. Talk about, man, I can do this. Nigga, please, this is a gift. A gift you couldn't begin to comprehend or appreciate. That's right. I emerged from my problems and solutions, yeah, I have them. So no, my revolution will not be televised or verbalized. Fuck that. I'm tired of crying. People talk about my angry man pieces. I do what I do, so I won't hurt these fools, cause Shiny can't do no time for no one, not even you. You feel me? All that bullshit you yapping, it ain't written. All of my actions are secure in them, so do I need to start from the beginning, or do you follow? You see the word separate the yin from the yang, or do I need to break it down in Spanish so you can comprende? You see, like Luda say, I don't need it yet. All I gotta do is open my mouth, it'll make you step back to reality. Remember who I be. I am controversy, speaking adversity with abstract thinking in eternal streets. I am fading out the things that you call my weaknesses, so read this. I will never let you put out my flame, but leave me to be blamed. Fuck hanging my head in shame. I will force feed your mind until you remember my name. I am Shiny, the poet. So recognize all that I represent. I am all things that are coming to me. I am what they said I was, a queen. I'm a conversation that rules the nation. I'm immune to the bullshit you be saying. I'm a dream maker, risk taker, survivor, warrior. I'm sure these stories will be told to you. I am the nightmare that haunts your dreams. I am the reason they say bless you when you sneeze. Yeah. Now, bitch, breathe.
Snap, snap, and toe tap. There, go, Sonny, go. Before we continue, it is time to see what Prosperous thoughts.
Prophecy. Woo.
So funny.
Woo.
It's time to see what Prosperous thoughts Baroness Robin has for us. So, Baroness Robin, what do you got? What do you have?
I got prospering thoughts
about the present moment. I say yes to this moment. My life is filled with sublime experiences, and even the everyday occurrences, those that may seem routine, hold a blessing. I recognize that activities like maintaining my house or paying my bills are important and honorable. I remain centered in each moment and give thanks for the resources that provide for my needs. Beyond the ordinary, I say yes to the rising sun and the stars that fill the night sky. I say yes to the laughter of a child and to the memories of a childhood long ago. I recognize the beauty and sacredness of every moment. As I focus on the present moment, my day flows and things seem to happen in timely ways. I find myself saying yes to each and every one. What I am present to about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the theme present moment is that there is nothing else. Anything else is just a trip, a voyage down memory lane or future speculation, which we'll talk about more later, and that there is a gift in every single moment when I stay present to it. Right now at my house, there's a man who helps with cooking for me during the week, and I'm smelling the smell, the fragrances of the food he cooked, and I'm present to how fortunate I am in this present moment. Empress Nakia has a voice from the ethers to share. Over to you, Diva Nakia. Let's hear the voices from the ethers.
Thank you, Baroness Robin. So we have a voice from the ethers from Miss Amanda Rothschild out of Birmingham, Alabama. I love the music from Laura, and Cheyenne. As Diva Janice said, refreshing. The conversations you have had around relationships and being authentic about what you want, including whether you want to be in a committed relationship, has given me an enormous freedom. Your conversations had me reveal my feelings to myself. I have this internal dialogue that men can have sex with no repercussions, and women can't. As I was listening to the show and the comments from the Divas about Raya's song and how she still had the misty-eyed fantasy about love, there was a part of me that was saying they sound like a bunch of old hens cackling because they had become cynical and jaded.
That's us, cynical and jaded.
Oh, my God.
Now, you old hens, stop laughing. Stop laughing, old hens. Stop. That's when the light bulb went off. And I started pointing that finger right back at myself. I saw how I was trapped in a teenage conversation about sex. When there is conversation for sex, I can have a fully functioning adult who is responsible. I saw that unlike my teenage years, I can explain my sexuality because I am more responsible. Excuse me, let me correct that. I saw that unlike my teenage years, I can expand my sexuality because I am more responsible. My apologies, Amanda. I do not want to be in a committed relationship at this time, and I want to get my freak on Hold on. I'm sorry.
You wasn't ready. You wasn't ready?
But reading it was a whole different context, like read it out loud. Okay. I do not want to be in a committed relationship at this time, and I want to get my freak on. The two are not mutually exclusive. I do need to worry about imaginary people judging me as a hoe or bad woman. That's simply a teenage conversation that I bought into because men had it all. I hope y'all got that. And Amanda, I apologize for any misconceptions. Now I'm not going to run out and give up the poo-poo to the first man I see. And I am free to date men. And if the mood is right, I can be a freak beneath the sheets. This girl makes me want to read all this all over again because she's like too hot, okay? I love your mind and money. I love your mind and money. I love Grow Your Mind and Money. Have been listening for years. The addition of the Prosperous Divas was a great move. Yeah, with the Divas.
Yeah.
From our voice from the ethers. Diva Nikki, come on, honey. What you got for us?
This big old smile on my face from ear to ear. Well, I'm glad she feels so free and that we have been able to help her to open up to get that insight for herself. And look, Ryan Michelle carried on all these weeks and months later. Girl, go out there and do your thing. Live your life. Who are we? Life is short. You now know that you don't have to hold on to teenage and childish beliefs that seem to put you in bondage. So these days, live your life and stay grounded. Don't forget the spirit. Stay grounded and live your life. That's what I have. And thank you. Thank you for sharing and thank you for being so open.
Awesome. Thank you, Diva Nikki. Diva Janice.
She hasn't arrived yet. She's at a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. function, but she will be in, so you can carry on.
All right. Okay, Baroness Robin, what do you have for us, young lady?
Well, I want to underscore what Diva Nikki said about her being so open. I loved it. Was so candid. I just thought it was the most delightful email that she wrote. And I mean, that's so often the case, but I just really noticed it on this one just now. And what I'm present to is that when it comes to relationships, we really do get to make up our own rules. And I love it that she was clear and honest with herself, that Amanda was so clear that she doesn't want a committed relationship, but that doesn't mean she can't enjoy men. And I'm also present to that she really took back her power. She went, that I'm really present to that she's now creating instead of reacting. And I think that's just the best.
Awesome. Thank you. Count Jacqueline. Oh, yes, Nikki.
Going back to being present, really quick, I wanted to chime in that she is now present to her newfound womanhood.
Okay. I think she can try that on. All right, then. Countess Jacqueline. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you. Man, I thought this was a very important conversation that she kind of brought to our attention. We learned so many rules, so many conditions about the way we need to be in relationship, or certain stipulations and obligations people have to meet in order for us to be in relationships. and it really blocks so many opportunities for us to enjoy love. This is a heavy conversation for me. I do write about this in my sex chapter, and especially for women, because we do get that conditioning where, like, even from when you're a little girl, you're made to feel ashamed of just being who you are. Girls can't sit like that, close your legs like that. You got to act like this. You kind of given the burden of carrying this weight of being the more responsible one when it comes to sex. So I think it's great. I would say I came to that conclusion that she has when I was a few years ago. And, it's just about, like, putting yourself first and not making everything so conditional. I just look at it based on, what do I want to do? Not like, did they meet the requirements on the list that my mama and my grandma and them told me that somebody had to have. But what do I feel? What do I want to do? And and to be able to do it without having that shame in the back of your head, like, oh, now, I'm promiscuous, or these names or these labels that we've heard to identify ourselves. So, I think it's wonderful. I love the letter. I'm glad that she shared that with us so that we could even have this conversation.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. So, Ronnie B., would you like to share before I say anything?
Well, one thing that that really stood out for me was her saying that I'm a fully functional adult who is responsible.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey, I'm responsible."
Right.
And some of us forget that how responsible we are. We do. We don't give ourselves enough acknowledgement that we're handling stuff, we're dealing with things, and that I put it like this: we're judging ourselves more than someone else is, if they are at all.
Yes.
If they are at all, and because 9 times out of 10 they're worried about what you gonna say. They're worried about what you gonna say. So, that's one thing. And then the other thing is that and it's really great because our theme is about being present in the moment. And I got in the moment, she went, I'm pointing my finger at y'all. Oh, let me turn it right back around on me. Mm-hmm. So you had to get present that was even there. Because otherwise, listen to them, we listening. Maybe I'm listening to me. That, the divas are just saying what they're saying. But, maybe this is what I be saying. And I'm trying to project that on the divas. Not like in a bad, negative, but that's what we do. The machinery goes in, and it's like, hey, you trying to change the program or something? What you mean over here getting present? Because, the moment you get present, you start having, your choice has been restored to proceed or change the program. So, wow, just awesome. And, I know Countess Jacqueline wasn't here for that conversation. I do remember it. And, it was interesting. It was sweet. But, it was perfect that she was doing what she was supposed to be doing. Back to you, Diva.
Thank you. Amanda, I'm going to say the word refreshing. And I'm also going to say that your willingness to be transparent in the conversation and bring this to the table is so awesome. So we are in this Me Too movement right now, and you're bringing up the conversations and the internal dialogue and how the saying of men can have sex with no repercussions and women can't. Well, now we see, even though that may have been the mindset or the thought or the verbiage, ultimately, now we can see the repercussions start to do an about face and go back and look at the men and the choices that men have been making and how they've been allowed to continue on in this behavior for so long, and how women have felt a certain way and uncomfortable or inferior or unprotected, and now they're speaking up. Another thing I want to point out is the fact that you are being responsible. Yes, as a teenager, we think in different ways, childlike ways, because we don't understand life. We haven't lived long enough to really get it, regardless of what is being told to us or taught to us by our elders, those that are more wiser and who have experienced life before us. And now, as an adult, you're one of these old cackling hens, along with us, that have invaded. And you realize that ultimately you have the freedom to make the choices that fit you in the moment, and understanding your responsibility of your actions or inactions, and being willing to be held accountable for that. So finally, I just want to say, girl, get your freak on. And,
now this is an M-rated program.
Oh, it is M-rated.
The opinions expressed by the Prosperous Divas
it's not absolutely
necessarily those of management.
Absolutely. And it's ultimately about being responsible. It really is. And it's not nothing in this communication that I've read and that I've heard amongst us are saying to anyone, go out there and be promiscuous, have sex unprotected. And it's not saying to go out there and just, sow your wild oats, and there's no consequence. Nobody is saying anything like that, and that is not the content that I'm getting from her communication either. So I just want everybody to definitely be responsible and acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your choices that you make, and stay in the conversation. And the conversation that you're having with us, have with that gentleman as well, so everybody can be on the same page. So thank you so very much for your sharing and for your willingness to be transparent and authentic. And we love you too. So welcome to the Diva family. So what we have.
Remember, management is not responsible for what the Prosperous Divas say.
No, they're not. No, they're not. And we so worried about the 5% that's not doing and that is putting a pressure, and we're trying to impress that 5%. We need to look at the other 95% that are doing the right things and that are encouraging us and inspiring us, and we need to stick together and push and move forward in life and through prosperity, wealth, and health. So we will hear more from our listeners later in the show. It's time for a prosperous spirit. Miss Cookie sent some inspiring words we can all share. Countess Jacqueline, over to you. It's great to have everybody here.
Yes, it is. All right. And I'm here to take you into the awareness of the future. What's extremely valuable about the future is that you know it's coming. You can prepare yourself and take actions now that will benefit your future. You can delay gratification, develop positive relationships by being considerate of others, and work to develop new skills. These strategies and many others create large rewards in the future from relative small efforts in the present. If you save $10 a day each day, in a few years you'll be able to pay your future self $10,000. When you factor the future into your decisions, those decisions create a more desirable future. Looking towards the future also will improve your discipline, effectiveness, and experience of fulfillment today. As you're building a great future, you can live at your best in the present. Just knowing that the future is coming puts you at a great advantage. Being able to do something positive about it vastly multiplies that advantage. Claim the full benefit of your good fortune. Make choices now that enable you to live well while also creating your best possible future. All right, Diva Nikki, that was heavy. You want to take us to break?
Yeah. Stay tuned. Thank you, Thomas Jackson. Stay tuned for The Kitchen with Miss Cookie and The Corner with Countess Jacqueline, featuring music from none other than David Earl Lewis.
Conference muted.
Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with what? Love. Okay, something smells great. I think it's a dish Miss Cookie has been whipping up in the kitchen. So, Diva Robin, are you going to share the recipe?
I don't know about everybody else, but it's pretty darn chilly where I am. And this recipe is the perfect thing for those hearty appetites that have been working diligently on growing their minds and money when it's cold outside. Miss Cookie has sent a special dish for those who have to deal with the cold, snowy weather up north. But you know what? We're having cold weather down south, too. Slow cooker, check this out, slow cooker beef barley soup recipe. Doesn't that sound amazing? I'll tell you it is. This ultra-comforting beef barley soup recipe is made easy in the slow cooker, which makes for incredibly tender beef and vegetables with perfect textured barley. Yum. Ingredients: 1.5 pounds of beef chuck roast, trimmed of excess fat and cut into 1-inch pieces. 1 to 1.5 pounds of potatoes, peeled and diced into 1/2-inch pieces. Yukon Gold or russets are preferred. 2 carrots, peeled and cut into 1/2-inch pieces. 1 medium yellow or sweet onion, peeled and diced. 2 rib celery, sliced in half lengthwise, then cut into 1/2 to 1-inch pieces. 4 cloves of garlic minced. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. 2 tablespoons of better than bouillon beef base. It's optional but recommended. 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. A 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. 2 bay leaves. 6 cups of beef broth or stock. 2/3 of a cup of pearl barley. I mean, just hearing the ingredients sounds amazing, doesn't it? I'll tell you, this is the best soup. So here's what you do to make it. If desired, heat 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil in a large skillet over medium-high heat. Add the beef cubes and brown for 1 to 2 minutes per side. Add the beef and all the remaining ingredients to slow cooker and combine. Cover and cook on low for 7 to 8 hours, on high for 4 to 5 hours. I think the part above where it says add the beef cubes, I think that means the beef bouillon cubes, as distinct from the actual beef, what you add right after that. So then you've done the beef cubes, the beef bouillon cubes, then the beef, and you cook it on low for 7 to 8 hours, or high for 4 to 5 hours in your slow cooker. Remove bay leaves and thyme stems and serve. Goes perfectly with some crusty bread. I'll bet it does. Yeah, that sounds so good. I'm ready. It's time for the corner with Countess Jacqueline. Let's give her a smooch and a rose. Over to you, Countess Jacqueline.
Receive. I accept all smooches and roses. Thank you.
And there's no time to take a break and have that soup yet, so you have to go on right now, Countess Jacqueline.
No, that's exactly what I was saying. All right. So, welcome to the corner, and we are featuring music from David Earl Lewis. We asked the team to vote whether the track should get a smooch and a rose or if it needs more fertilizing. Let's hear the first track called Russ Never Sleeps.
Oh,
So that was the first track, Rust Never Sleeps. Is this track getting a smooch and a rose or free fertilizer? Ronnie B.
Oh, I'm giving it a smooth. You know, I'm an old school rock kind of guy, and so you know, it took it. I put it like this: I was halfway thinking about getting me some illegal substances, but we won't go into my past. But I'm giving it a smooth to the road, and I'm looking for a little shot of Jack Daniels.
Diva Janice, right? Diva Janice not here, right? Diva Robin.
Hi there. I'm with Ronnie B. I'm also an old rock fan, and I love that song, and I think that guy has a great voice, and it was, you know, that's kind of one of the kinds of music that really my heart loves. So I give it a smooch and a rose.
And we will receive.
You want a little bit of this Jack Daniels, Robin?
Say that again?
Have her a shot. Have her.
I said, do you want a little bit of this Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Wait till after dinner, guys. After dinner.
Oh. I'll catch you after the show, Robin.
It's a date.
All right. Empress of Faith, Nakia, what's the verdict?
Okay, so yeah, no, not for me. I love like all types of music.
Oops.
But in listening to his song, his music was overpowering the verse, the actual words, the content. So, and because it was so loud, like literally listening to it independently, it's so loud, to me, it became overwhelming. And it's a lot of music, like a lot of music. And so, and it could be fine for people who like all that, you know what I'm saying? All that loud music and, you know, so long and not a lot of words, which is fine, but it was just too much for me. I'm going to have to throw it some fertilizer, you know, I can't, you know, so yeah, that's all I can say, because I just, you know, that's where I was left, like right here in this space. So yeah, I'm done. I don't know. I'm good. Okay, yeah.
Diva Nikki.
Well, rock isn't really my genre of music of choice, my genre of choice of music, but it didn't, and the music was overpowering. However, the lyrics didn't turn my stomach, and that's a plus. So I won't give it a smooth to the rose.
All right. Well, I'm going to also give it a rose. It's not my genre either, but it sounds similar to that genre. So I say he fits in.
I ain't mad at nobody. I just say do it. I'm going to be Miss Cookie tonight, baby. I'm Miss Cookie tonight.
Yes, we needed Miss Cookie tonight. She might have surprised us.
She would have gotten kicked off the line and came back on somebody. I got disconnected.
Well, all right, we got a second track. And this is called The Thrill Is Gone. And I like the one by B.B. King, I believe that is. So let's check it out.
Lots of people have done it.
The thrill is gone. Panel, is the thrill is gone getting a smooch and a rose or a bit more fertilizer? Let's start with Empress of Faith, Nakia. Are you there, Nakia? All right, we'll come back.
Find out the thrill done took Nakia away.
She's thinking about it. She might, might have did what she thought Miss Cookie did earlier. Let's check in with Diva Nikki.
I knew I was mixed. I knew it. Well, the music is still overpowering. The lyrics did not turn my stomach. Gave it a smooch and a rose, and
That was the least enthusiastic smooch and a rose I think I've ever heard.
It was a pity rose.
Really gone, baby. It's gone.
Diva Robin, I know you might.
I liked it a lot, and I think it takes guts to do a cover of a song that is so well known and so associated with someone, and has always been done a certain way, and then to do it differently. So I give it a big smooch and a rose. Plus, not only do I like the idea of what the person did, of what he did, but I also really liked the music. I'm smooch and a rose for David Earl Lewis.
Thank you, Diva Robin. Ronnie B.
Well, again, I'm an old rock fan, and I liked how he rocked it up. This is the kind of group that back in the day, they would have been the white boys at the juke joint. And we'd have been like, oh, yeah, they can hang a little bit, I'll have some pig feet. So, no, I like that. Like I said, it was, in the world of rock, that was nice to hear. That was actually a refreshing track for today's rock groups. So, I liked it. I'm shouting it out.
I want to add something.
I'm giving this smooch in a rose.
Too. Yes. The thing I want to add is that music like that, with that style of rock, is not being recorded much right now. And it's like I'm with Ronnie. I'm saying, for me, it's refreshing. Okay, that's it.
I'm glad you guys got some water today.
Gonna water that rose.
Yes. I'm also gonna give a rose because it's not my genre, but I don't feel like the song was butchered. It was still nice. And I recognize the song. So it sounded good to me. So I'm gonna give it a rose as well.
Can I give my smooch or rose or fertilizer now?
Yes.
Okay. The thrill is gone. Okay. So for that one, I immediately recognized it, as a B.B. King song. I love me some B.B. King. And I get that that song has been remade by so many people, but there is never, ever going to be another B.B. King. So, because of that, and his words wasn't drowned out, or overpowered by the music like the first song, but so I'll give it a smooch. I won't give it much fertilizer. I'll just drop a few nuggets over there, but I won't give it much. It's not my thing. However, I do recognize how to say game recognize game. So yeah. So that's what we got. Congratulations, Mr. David. Congratulations.
Sounds good. Well, if you like the music from David Earl Lewis, you can check him out on Grumpy Radio. Let's get over to Diva Nikki so she can take us to break.
All right. Up next, we have Sunny Sunshine Lounge. More voices from the ethers. Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
The thrill is gone, baby. It's gone away.
Welcome back. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Shawnee left the keys to the lounge with Diva Nikki. Let's see what's going on in the lounge. Diva Nikki?
Welcome to Shine and Sunshine Lounge, where we feature a mixture of goodies that will stimulate your mind and make you have to tap your feet. Tonight, we have an awesome poet, Brandon Wellington, performing America in 4 minutes.
Of the people, by the people, for the people. Those are words that we put in our nation's creed. But only right here in America do we feed foreign countries while some starve on our streets. Only right here in America at age 18 can you qualify to die in a war with bombs and guns, but you can't have your first bottle of rum until you turn 21. This is America. It's home of the brave, home of the wealthy, rich, home of the paid. It's also home of the homeless, the hurt, the deceived, and home of natural disasters that left families in need. Some say that this is the home of hatred and the home of greed. But in Philadelphia, there's the city of brotherly love, and America is home of the highly achieved. This place, this nation, it's home of children with a bright future. It's also home of video games that could teach those same kids to be carjackers and shooters, robbers, mobsters, gangsters, or murderers. This is our America, and the whole free world has heard of us. We're home of the proud, and we're home of a lot of inventions. Sad to say, we're also home of babies that are born with a cocaine addiction. This is the home of the red, the white, and the blue, where at times it can feel you're hated by many and you're loved by few. It's home of the green grass, the blue shutters, and the white picket fence that we talk about. It's also home of people with bad credit that can't afford the American dream house. Because in our America, a vast majority of us go into debt. Because we go to work, we get our checks, we spend what's left. Because in American school systems, most aren't taught how to properly invest. And because of it, the national debt and the student loan crisis are bubbling. Meanwhile, we can't find common lines of agreements between Democrats and Republicans. But even if they did agree, I wouldn't jump to give a round of applause. Because in our America, we tend to put bandages over the problems without really fixing the cause. But this is America. A place where outsiders find it difficult to become a resident. This is the place where our ball players can potentially earn more than our president. This is the home of top models, TV shows, and actors. The place where cable was flooded with violence, rock bands, and rappers. A place where we're created equal, but we use racial slurs for practice. This is home where almost everything is done backwards. This is where 36.3% of our kids are born bastards. But I tell you to forget that number because every year it grows faster. So welcome to America, where you are free. You're free to have religion, or you could be religion free. You could watch God on television or turn that off and put in a DVD. The ins, the outs, the goods, the bad, it's all America. And I'm proud of it. Even though in our past we've started barbaric, belligerent battles where nothing good can come out of it, but you gotta take pride. You gotta take pride in being an American. Because many dream of being in this great nation because they have never been. They have never been in a state that's part of a very fortunate country. Here we can drink when we're thirsty and there's an excess of food when we're hungry. We can do whatever we so choose, but many abuse their privileges. And we can become whatever we want, but we make excuses for the conditions we're living in. Well, I say it's time out for excuses and time in for execution. There's no more play in the middle. Either you're educated or you're relegated. Either you're going to make something happen or you simply will not. In America, you can stare at the ladder of success or get the courage and climb to the top. Because right here in America, you can do it because you have that opportunity. But it's going to take a collection of all of us to change what is in our American communities. What will you do?
All right. All right. Well, channel is America in 4 Minutes by Brandon Wellington. Going to get some snaps or some rotten tomatoes. Empress Vicky, what do you say?
I'm going to give it some snaps. I love it. I actually do. That is a conversation that I try to have with my son on a regular basis, and even with myself, because it's talking about some real world stuff, and, it helps us think. And when you don't think, then you're dead. And if you don't get something out of his commentary, then you're not in reality. You're not living. In some kind of way, you've gotten yourself cooped up in a box, not exposed to the world. And you doing some Trumpism stuff because you living in this fantasy land that it's all about you and there's nothing outside of you that impacts you and the rest of the world. You know, so I give him much, much love, much snap. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Love it. Barnes Robin, what say you? Unmute your phone.
I'm just going to sit up here and say, snap, and a toe tap.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I was muted. Yeah.
Oh, you're not sorry, but you were. You're not sorry, but you were muted.
I am sorry.
I won't twist your conversation.
Different definition. Anyway, there was one thing that kind of bothered me about it, though. I listened to it pretty carefully, and I really loved that he was kind of telling it like it is, and I'm right on the same page, and also want to, I think that awareness is the first step to change. And there was a part where he switches over and he says, "And I'm proud." I can appreciate there still being pride. I mean, why bother to fix it if we don't love it? But the way he did it, it just sounded like gratuitous, like, oh, I better throw in that I'm proud and not completely trash it or something. I don't know. That little part right there kind of bothered me. But I still give it a snap, toe tap. And that's it.
Somebody's managing this segment.
Excuse me, Countess, thank you. Excuse me, Countess Jacqueline. How do you feel?
Yes.
Are you going to get some more snaps or rotten tomatoes? What's in your hand?
Definitely get snaps. It's definitely a good poem. Obviously, the way he projected it was great, and what he was talking about was excellent. Just what I got from it was, as Americans, we can take more advantage of the resources that are available to us. Yeah, obviously, it's not perfect conditions here either, but we do have access to more resources than others that we don't take advantage of. And so I'm with that. I thought it was a great poem.
Ronnie B.
Well, as I said earlier, I'm giving it some snaps and a toe tap. And to me, he speaks in the face of those who think because the perfect union isn't perfect yet, like all of a sudden everything is to hell in a basket. And, sometimes, and it's really great because his poem is just spot on. This is the holiday weekend to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And, and it's just really perfect because many people had a reason to not be proud to be American.
Right.
Many people. And what they chose was to be a demand for their pride in being an American. Went to war to demonstrate how proud they and their people were to be Americans, even with issues that would have had someone else say to hell with them. So, it's just really, really awesome, and especially given this weekend, that the work is still being done. And so I loved it, Brandon Wellington, and we want to hear good stuff from you.
Thank you. I co-sign everything you all said, and this is another one of those pieces where I just think that it's timeless, and as fitting as it was when he wrote it, it'll be equal, Curtis Thomas, it'll be equally as fitting probably 20 years from now. And if not, to be able to tie the two together. I mean, that's the relationship of, and a marker of this era and where we've been. Says a lot, so to just be able to even be a voice for that. So I give it more snap. If you enjoyed the performance from Brandon Wellington, you can check him out on YouTube and also on Old Grumpy Radio. Now over to Baroness Robin for another voice from the ethers.
Yay! I love the voices for the ethers. This one is from Greg Mitchell of Philadelphia, PA. Hey, Prosperous Divas. First off, I am a grieving Eagles fan. I'm glad that your show always leaves me uplifted and thinking. Sounds like we're counteracting his grief for the Eagles. The conversation for the occurring world throughout the show and the Prosperous Divas seminars have opened worlds of possibilities that were blocked off or occurred as something I could not obtain. My sister and I have not spoken meaningfully to each other in years, which does bother me. Years back, she found salvation and immediately began a journey of questioning everyone's relationship with Christ, especially, it seemed like, mine. I am her older brother who has bent over backward, helping her raise her 4 children, supporting her through 3 divorces, and arguments with my parents. Now, because she has Jesus in her life, I don't measure up. I was hurt and put off, and it's been that way for years. I did the exercise and wrote down my desires. It was like the pen had a mind of its own, and I found myself writing, having my sister and me love one another again. I was in tears. I love my sister. I was proud to be there for her during her struggles, and now I am cast aside because how I worship is not how she expects or says it should be. After a minute or two of being on the pity pot, I did the next part of the exercise. What conversations will I let go of about myself and others that would restore my sense of power and freedom with this desire? I realized I would need to give up the conversation that she and I have not grown during the years, and that my love for her would be rebuffed. I became present to my love for my sister and her love for me. The imaginary wall between us had disappeared. I called my sister for the first time in 11 years and told her I was always her big brother, and things may have changed over the years, but not my love. My sister just broke out sobbing, and I noticed tears were running down my cheeks. She said, "When I first found Christ, I was passionate and wanted everyone I loved to find Christ, but it was all out of selfishness. I didn't know how to ask your forgiveness." My sister and I talked for what seemed like hours. We cried some more, and we laughed a lot. I say, God bless the Prosperous Divas and this radio show. I am already a winner in 2019. I got my sister back, and I got my life. Whoa. Let me check in with the Divas and see what is present for them from the voices from the ethers. I'm going to begin with you, Mr. Ronnie B. What's present for you?
Is this because I'm a big brother and I have sisters? That's I get
part of it.
Or is it because of my winning personality?
That's part of it, too. But you're heading downhill here.
Well, Greg, I'm a big brother, and I have sisters, and I love them dearly. And it is challenging to allow them to be themselves in the face of them now trying to help you.
Yep.
It is challenging, and it can seem like they have forgotten who you are and what you're capable of. But it's really awesome that you really got that the most important thing was that you love your sister.
Yeah.
And there's one practice, one thing that I keep saying, and that is my love knows no bounds.
Wow.
My love knows no bounds. And if there's a gap in my loving, the gap is the distance between the love Jesus has for people and the love I have for people. So that's the gap. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, my love knows no bounds. I'm closing in. I'm closing in until he tells me different. So I just want to acknowledge you for I'm a grieving. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm grieving because I wanted them to win. Okay, so I'm a Bears fan, but I wanted I wanted the Eagles to win, and not because of Diva Janice. I wanted that. I was like, get him, Nikki, So, but really, so I just wanted to acknowledge that you found that place of love that was just more important. What is more important? You'll have whatever you have, but that's your sister. Right. You're her brother. So, and it is what it is. So let her be a brat. Be thankful for her little brattiness. And, be thankful that she tolerates you.
That's great.
And all your big brotherness. Okay, that's, I guess that was the question what I was present to, because that's what I was present to. That's what I was. That's
Big
what I was.
Brother Ronnie.
That's
Mr.
what
Big
I was.
Brother Ronnie. Yeah, very clear. Do we have Diva Janice yet?
That looks like
doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
Oh, she must be having too much of a wonderful time.
And,
so,
after the 10th, we have a dream. After the 10th, we have a dream speech. Oh, let me tell you, it can get long. It can get long. Okay, all right, back to you. You run this segment.
Thank you. Thanks, Ronnie B. And how about you, Empress of Faith, Nakia? What's present for you from the voices from the ethers?
Yes. Greg Mitchell. First of all, I just want to be expressive with my wow moment. And I just want to say that it was very clear to me that you stood for what mattered most, which was the love. The pure and most authentic love between both yourself and your sister. Whether she was present to it in the moment that she discovered Christ or not. And thank you for not making her wrong in a way that from just listening to the content, making her wrong in a way that it destroyed or caused something for her beyond her relationship with you and her intentions of trying to bring everyone to Christ, which she thought, she was supposed to be doing. She's on this crusade. which was later discovered within herself that it was not what the task was. It was not where she quote unquote should or should not.
Darling girl, let me return you to the question, which is what's present for you?
This is what's present.
Okay.
Even in the face of no agreement. He stood for that reunification of the relationship between he and his sister. Out of the bold step, to pick up the phone and make that phone call, she would have never discovered how he truly felt. And he had the opportunity to express his love. And not only that, she was able to really understand the impact of forgiveness in its purest form, because that is what she was seeking. She said she didn't know how to ask for forgiveness. Yeah. So I acknowledge him, and I really thank him for doing the work to really make a difference for what matters to not just him, but his sister as well, and get his life out of the experience. And like you said, he was a winner. He's a winner in 2019. He got his sister back and he got his life. And that's what can occur as a result of doing the work, taking the action. So that's what I was present to.
Got it. Thank you. I just want to also underscore that kind of kudos to a million kudos for the courage and the love that it took for him to call his sister after 11 years, and also the brilliance of allowing himself to really use the exercise for it to make a difference for him. And just completely inspiring and beautiful, and really is a huge win to start out the year that way. And there's actually something else, and that is we don't know. We don't know where people are until we talk to them. I would bet you that it was a surprise to Greg when he called his sister, and she wanted his forgiveness, and she hadn't figured out a way to do it. For all he knew, she was still mad at him for not worshiping the same way that she does. So, we make stuff up about, when we expect things to go a certain way, and sometimes the things we make up keep us from taking actions like getting in communication with somebody we love. And so it's the action, it's the actual speaking to someone that provides the opportunity for a relationship to be restored. And Greg really demonstrated that brilliantly, and I'm really present to the brilliance and courage of that. So Diva Nikki, have you something to share about what's present for you?
Yes, I do. First of all, I am so thankful and I'm in celebration of the reuniting. Oftentimes, we sacrifice love for the sake of being right. And it's always wonderful when we find our way back to what's important, to what's more important. And love should always be more important than just being right. So I'm in celebration.
Amen to that.
For that.
Yeah. Thank you. And how about you, Diva Jacqueline?
It's a powerful story that he shared, and I'm just grateful that these conversations that we have impact so many people, and have them just take a look at different areas in their lives and decide to make different decisions as well. As a collective, with us coming together and having these conversations, it's just so powerful.
Yeah.
So that is what's present for me.
I got it. Well said.
Part of it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and while I have you, will you please take us to the break, Countess Jacqueline?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. So coming up in the next segment, the finale, the inquiry, food for thought, and the prosperity work. So please stay tuned. And we're back. So we give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. So let's go over to Diva Nikki for the inquiry. The inquiry by Diva Nikki.
I wonder if Diva Nikki has that.
I had to unmute my phone. I'm over here.
Oh, great.
And I'm
talking away.
All right.
Welcome to my world.
Back to the inquiry. The current world and future. What do we mean when we say the current world and future? Take a moment and get present to the question. Here is our context. The current world and future are not physical. They defy physics and have the power to alter the past, present, and future. The current world is a combination of conversations we have about the physical or real world that gives us our experience of life or how we are living life. The current world is the context or framework for which we experience our life. It's either empowering our ability to have and experience the fulfillment of our desires, or disempowering our ability to have and experience the fulfillment of our desires. For this inquiry, we are going to distinguish the current world and future as a conversation. To the degree we have conversations for the current world and future is the degree we experience the manifestation of that occurring world and future moment by moment. We experience the current world and future from conversations we choose to generate for having the future and the current world we desire. Experienced, expressed, and producing results in our lives. Our inquiry for this evening is, how do you have the current world and future you are creating present all the time? Baroness Robin.
Thank you so much. I love this topic. So, first of all, I spent quite a few years becoming trained to live a life of creating all the time. And so it's not something that takes a whole lot of, having to remind myself that at the same level as when I started. But as for having it present all the time, I think the most important thing that I do is surround myself with people who know what I'm up to creating. So they become like a support system, and they interact with me from that knowledge, from knowing what I'm up to, and I make sure to let them know what I'm up to. So as a result of that, the people around me listen to me powerfully, and I hold myself to account through them and through my own stand for that's really the same as the stand that we Prosperous Divas have. So I would say that how I mostly do it is with the people around me.
That is a great answer. Yes. I like that, and I agree. Empress Nakia.
Okay. So, did I do that? I'm sorry. So for myself, staying in the current world and future, I am creating present all the time. So for myself, I have to actually wake up in the morning and really get present to the fact that God has given me the grace to have another day. And whether I start meditating with just a prayer to Him, or
and then, you know, beginning to create my space and create my day. Or what I often like to do as well is I have different podcasts saved on my phone. So whether I'm en route to work or an appointment, or whether I'm just, you know, getting my mindset focused on who I'm going to be the day, how I'm going to create me first, that is what I have to do. And I go so far as asking my son every morning, who are you going to be today? You know, who are you going to be out in the world, regardless of what the experience is or the circumstance may be? Who are you going to stand as being in those moments as you walk out of this door? So I try to bring myself back in just being present to that conversation that I have with myself in the morning, to that conversation I have with my son, to that conversation I have with God in the morning, so I can get replanted, because I'm human and I can get outside of who I'm creating and what I'm creating for that experience and for that moment. And then I also have to get the stories out of my head. You know, I have to get clear with what happened, you know, in a moment or in an experience, so I don't take myself out. And I have to really be present to whatever that conversation is or whatever that experience is in the moment, because if I don't, then I'm not being with that person to be really authentic in the conversation and being transparent and being authentic, even and honest with myself of who I'm being in that moment, to really be present with that person and listening for what they're delivering to me and what it is that they're trying to get across without making any meaning of it, because we are meaning-making machines. So that's what I have. Nikki?
I'm over here just talking, boy. Yeah,
well, I said I'm being present, so we want to listen to what you have to say, young lady.
Sometimes we do get off track, so I can relate to that as well. Let's go on over to Countess Jacqueline.
Thank
How
you.
do you have your current world and future?
To be honest, I've been really using my imagination a lot to really take me there, and so that I can get into the feeling of where I want to be. And that is helping me be aware of where my attention is now, and how that is lining up with the visions that I'm having and the feeling that I'm having in the future, or what I want to have, the feeling I want to have, getting the idea of that feeling. It's like, you know what? I can actually have that feeling right now.
Wow.
And so for me, that I've been doing that a lot lately, and it's been amazing for me. Just really lining me up with that future right now by just getting into the feelings. I would say use your imagination. Sit back. You know, sometimes we don't use that imagination like we used to. You know, we kind of put it to the side and think it really doesn't have a use anymore. It's a childish type of thing, but, you know, that's not true. That's how we create the future. And the best thing you can do is use your imagination to visualize and get the feeling of what it is you want. And then you know what it feels like, and you can start incorporating that feeling into your now. And so that's what I do. Try to keep it alive.
Thank you. Oops.
Thank you.
Okay. Ronnie B., how do you have your current world and future you're creating present all the time?
Well, I really, I'll just say that I'm not sure you can have it present all the time in your specific experience, because your thoughts go other places. But note I said in your specific experience. I do have it that you can have the occurring world and future you're creating present all the time in your world. And part of it is something that I'll say Diva Robin said earlier, is by the community that she has that listens her as the possibilities that she creates for herself in her life. They don't listen to her as this body bag, even though it's a cute body bag. You know, it's one of the prettier ones. They don't listen to her as her body bag. They listen to her as
I've got to remember
word.
that. I have got a cute body bag. Okay.
Hey.
That is not how they listen to me. That is not how they listen to me.
Right. They're not listening to the cute body bag. Well, sometimes. But that's, we won't get distracted here. But they listen to her as her future, what she's created. People don't listen to me as a skinny, bald black guy. You know, they listen to me as Old Grumpy Radio, the Prosperous Divas, production, entertainment. That's how they, integrity, kindness, who I'm being. Now, my experience in the moment may be, man, my back is hurt. That might be my experience in the moment. So the current world and the future are not present for me because my back is hurting me. It's hurting, and that's more present in the moment. But all of that.
Ronnie Divas?
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Ronnie B, Empress of Fame.
I'm present.
Oh, it looks like we just lost Ronnie then. How about Jacqueline? Are you there?
Join the conference.
I'm here.
Oh, are you back?
I do apologize. My technology went blank.
Okay. All right. Okay.
but I'm back, and let me just give me 1 second so I can reconnect where I was at.
Okay.
So you can have the world. When you create a possibility big enough where your environment, your community, your world listens to you as that possibility, you, as your body bag, disappears. And our little mealy mouth, complaints and issues and doubts and fears and uncertainties, the environment does not care because it's not listening to you that way. It's listening to you as the possibilities you created. The Prosperous Divas, you do not listen to me as my whiny self. You could care less. And that doesn't mean you don't love me and all of that. You do very much, but you ain't listening to that. You're listening for the possibilities, for the future, for what we're up to. And in that, you can have the occurring world and future present in your world. Now, if you to have a remote chance, and I'm saying this really just to kind of give you a little break here, to have a remote chance at having it present in your experience all the time, make promises with people that are important to you with by when. Get promises from people important to you with by when. See, when you put your butt on the line, and that's what a promise does, it puts your butt on the line, you experience that future. And the closer it gets to that deadline, the more future you experience in the moment. And that works both ways. So go on. You want to experience the current world of the future? You make that bold promise to somebody that is important to you. Like, you know what? I gave a Diva Nikki my word I would do X. Well, if I got to crawl through broken glass, X gonna get done. You know, that's what that future is like. Oh, what broke it? Oh, you know what? A few strengths, man, shoot. because I got a future call. I told her I was going to have that done. So, who's running this segment? Diva Nikki, back to you.
All right. Well, for myself, can you all hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So for myself, I concur with everyone. I need to get better at telling people about what I'm doing. And including, people. And I need to get better at including people in my plans and my vision. So, Okay. So thank you all for sharing. And now it's time to find out what our Baroness Robin has for us cooking on the food for thought. Baroness Robin.
Yeah. Thank you. I got to share food for cold, wintry comfort day, and now I get to share thought food. So food for thought is future vision. So any concept you have of the future is just a simulation in your mind. Yeah. It can be extremely useful to consider how life could unfold if you don't let it overwhelm and disable you. Go ahead. Peer inquisitively into the future. Learn all you can, and then come solidly back into the present. Sometimes you can anticipate very accurately what's going to happen. You can make good use of that knowledge to guide your life in a more positive direction. Many other times, events do not unfold at all like you thought. So don't get yourself too invested in what, after all, is your own speculation. Instead, seek to combine your vision of the future with the undeniable reality of now. Apply your best guesses about tomorrow in ways that make a positive difference today. Do not be dismayed by problems that only exist in your imagined future. Boy, is that important. Do not be dismayed by problems that only exist in your imagined future. Be inspired to create so much value right now that those problems never have a chance to appear. So what I am present to from the theme future vision and the possibility I will create for myself in my life is that thinking I know how it's going to go can really get in the way. It can limit possibilities, or if I behave like my speculation is true, I can even take actions that are not appropriate or consistent with my vision for what can really happen. Plus, they distract me from being present now, so it's a fine balance. So I'm present to that it's really important to create for the future, and that it's important to do it not losing sight of the fact that it's imagined and it can go lots of different ways, and letting the universe do the guidance really as I'm creating, and not let it take me out of the present or what reality really is now. So the possibility I'm creating for myself in my life is the possibility of an open future, of an unpredictable future where the endeavors that I'm currently engaged in have the opportunity to flourish. And that's it for me. So over to Empress Nakia for the prosperity work. Empress Nakia?
Thank you so very much for that, Diva Robin. I was really present to that conversation.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you.
Yeah, got that. So, prosperity work. We experience the occurring world and future from conversations we choose to generate for having the future and occurring world we desire. Experience, express, and producing results in our lives. We have a little exercise intended to empower you in clearing the space so you can be present to your own occurring world and future. Let's create the following categories: self-expression, wholeness, and prosperity. Ooh, some good ones. Ha ha ha. Self-expression, wholeness, and prosperity. Now, under each category, answer the question, what do I desire that I do not have or is not at the level of fulfillment I seek? We internalize this with all those I's. Next to each item, write 3 conversations or actions you take that consistently keep the results you would desire in the area from being fulfilled. So, for an example, prosperity. The desire is to have the money needed to retire comfortably. The conversations. I know I should be working to bring in more money. I just need to find the right thing. Problem. Never do the work to find the right thing and take actions to see if it's the right thing for me. Okay. So, what's consistently keeping you from being stuck? Ronnie B., I'm going to get you to join me in this conversation.
Sure. As you said, here's the conversation. I know I should be working to bring in more money. I just need to find the right thing. Problem. I never do the work to find the right thing and take actions to see if it's the right thing for me. Does that remind you of anybody? Have you ran across anybody like that? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So many of us can definitely relate to this experience. So.
Yeah. And now I could have the money to retire, but I don't have the money right now to do what it would take to save or invest. You know, Nakia, who runs the financial investment thing, you understand, right? I just don't have the money right now that I can take to save and invest. The problem, I never had the money to save or invest. I create an issue about what I don't have instead of creating a solution. Now, the Empress of Faith has done like counseling work and, work with people who are being reintroduced back into regular society. And she has ran into people who have this quality, and it's called this. Whatever problem they have, the more solutions you come up with, the more problems they come up with.
Yes, indeed.
And Empress Faith, let me give you back your say.
Okay. Thank you, Ronnie. So I could have the money to retire, but I don't have the money right now to do what it would take to save or invest. The problem, I never have the money to save or invest. I create an issue about what I don't have instead of creating a solution. Same example. So I know I could have the money to retire, but I don't have the money right now to do what it takes to save or invest. So what is the solution that is being created instead of dwelling on the fact that, being present to the fact that you don't have the money right now? And what is the solution that is being created in order to create that money so you can begin to save or invest? I could have the money to retire, but it will have to wait until I can get the time. I'm swamped. Oh, God, I'm so familiar with that. And I'm sure so many others can relate to that as well. It's always something else that's coming up instead of creating a solution, taking ownership. The problem, I never have time. And I will not do what it takes to create time or look at where I am spending my time. Don't worry about fixing anything. We want you to be present to what you wrote. Note this. If there are any persistent complaints or a listening from past conversations, even the recent past, that are limitations. Now let's keep working on this exercise, and I know it's going to hit you like the door slamming dead on your forehead. But let's keep working on this exercise during the week. If you have any questions or need coaching, email us at divas at prosperousdivas.com. DIVAS, the @ prosperousdivas.com. Remember, demand a miracle. Coming in January, we're in January, but we're going to continue on. Future wealth, manifesting and creating from the future now. A new series by the Prosperous Divas and the Old Grumpy Prosperity team. A world of peace and prosperity, one listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and money. Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. Peace, love, and blessing. Till next time.